All right, this is our last lesson. Oh, let me turn on my ring light. This is our last lesson in the promotional module. I'm going to put a bonus lesson together, but it's really going to be more a list of resources and information, mostly around the social media stuff, because I didn't want to focus on there. It's not my expertise, but I did want to get you a jumping off point. Anyway, this is your last suggested lesson, and it's all about deciding what keywords and topics you really want to become known for and what you want to master. So again, similar to the last couple of lessons, it's a lot of brainstorming. So don't overthink this. Don't get too in the weeds. Just kind of go with it. Make a list. Use the tools like Google keywords or whatever. But basically, I want you to just come up with a list of 25 words or phrases that your ideal client might be using in order to solve the problem that you can solve for them, or to find you, right? So if you are a designer, what exactly is your ideal client Googling to find you or searching for on LinkedIn, right? Are they searching for web designer? Are they searching for UX designer, product designer, graphic designer, visual designer? Like, there's all of these little phrases, and we know that they're really just kind of marketing speak, but it's going to be critical to whether your clients can find you is knowing what they're actually looking for, right? And so I knew as a designer, I knew that I wanted to work with startups, right? And so I focused on terms that my startup people would use. They use product designer, they use visual designer, they use interaction designer, they use user experience. They were not looking for a graphic designer. They weren't looking for a web designer. They used the technical terms because it was a startup, right? And so you want to look at that sort of stuff. Like, what is the words and the phrases that your clients are using for online? And you want to think about how that works in Google search, because you want to optimize your website to include those things that you'll come up in those organic search results, as well as what they're looking for on social media and what they're reading on social media. Like, what would they be interested in? If your ideal client is, if you're a health coach and your ideal client is somebody that has a serious disorder, what are the phrases that they're searching for? Or if they haven't been diagnosed yet, what are the symptoms that they're searching for? Right? Those are the things you need to know so that you can start creating content or finding content that fits them, that's going to drive them back to you, and it's going to start positioning you as the expert. Once you have that list of like 25 or more, you can go crazy with this. I had hundreds initially, and then I narrow it down because I'm just one of those people that get sucked into a web search, and I'll be like, it's going to take me 5 minutes, and then like 7 hours later, I'm like, oh, I forgot to eat. But don't worry about that. Just come up with a good handful of keywords and phrases. And then I want you to look at your list and start looking for patterns and pick kind of 5 broad areas or topic areas that kind of encompass what you're about as a brand. You can go back to your brand keywords and see if maybe there's some overlap there, and I have some really descriptive, detailed examples here of, my hashtags and kind of, overarching topics that I focus on. But what I want you to do here by the end of the lesson, I want you to have 5 topic areas that you plan to really be about. Like, this is going to encompass your brand and your business in terms of what you talk about online, what you share on social media, what you create or write about on blogs, what people come to you for as an expert, right? Come up with 5 different things. They can be directly related to your business or not. They can be about your person. So I used an example in here of Jenna Kutcher. If you're a creative person, you might have heard of her. She runs a Gold Digger podcast, and she's got like 200,000 followers on Instagram. She's really, really big. And she talks about the Jenna Kutcher 5, which are her 5 topics on Instagram that she just posts about in repeat. And I think they've shifted over the years, but it used to be dogs and weddings, her and her husband teach, like something, she would teach something, and then she would share something that inspired a quote. So those are the 5 things. And she just posts one a day, for 5 days, and then start over. And she's got 200,000 followers on Instagram. She's a multimillionaire, self-made, so it's just the simple stuff. But finding those 5 things that you are going to repeatedly share on and become known for. And then there's a bonus exercise in here, totally optional, but highly recommended and kind of fun. And that's to get all narcissistic and go Google yourself. You might be amazed at what comes up when you Google yourself. Possibly for 2 reasons. One, either you've got some old stuff on there that needs to go. I've been there multiple times. In fact, I'm there now. Or you got nothing. Maybe you Google yourself and you don't come up at all. It's like you're in witness protection because some of you have not been online. You don't like online and you've been resisting to it. And, you know, you don't have to be online, but if you want to run a work anywhere business, if you want to work from your pajamas and have clients coming to you and you don't want to become a master of sales, you might want to consider no longer remaining in witness protection. Just saying. Anyway, have fun with that, but just Google yourself and see what comes up. You can also, you know, Google the keyword terms and see what comes up. You're not going to come up there yet because you haven't positioned yourself, but you can get an idea of what other people are doing online. But Google yourself, and, you know, this goes back to the brand strategy that we talked about before. Make sure you're in line and see what's coming up. And, you know, if one of your words and the things you want to be known for is you know, design, and then you've got some really crappy artwork that's coming up in your name in a Google search, stuff that you did a decade ago that's just bad, you want to do everything you can to get rid of that. Clean it up. Clean up your act. And that's it.